just like that, and just like Justin Scard in Random Land, we're back. Still on the I-5, heading southbound. We just hit the North Gate area. Oh, it's telling me I can save 5 minutes if I take, not I-90, I'm not doing I-90. Gotta pay. No, I guess I don't have to pay to cross 90. Why would I pay? Oh, never mind. Never mind me, I'm just thinking out loud. Anyhow, as you can tell, this still isn't Seattle proper yet. We are in the Shoreline District, or Northgate District of the Shoreline neighborhood. And we have slowed down to a crawl. Currently doing 11 miles an hour. And if you can see, like I can see, I don't know, it doesn't look like it's going to let up anytime soon. We'll notice up here on the left, this left lane is, it's a multi-purpose lane. They're labeled as express lanes, but they either go northbound or southbound depending on the time of day it is. So early in the morning, when people are going into downtown for work, it's open from the north to the south. And then later, rush hour traffic for the afternoon and evening, people going out of the city, it is open going southbound. Actually, flip that around. In the morning, it's open going southbound to the city. In the afternoon, it's open, like right now, it's open going northbound. You can see the cars coming out, like that semi-truck right there. He just came from the express lanes. And for a good portion of them, you're underneath the regular highway. Even the bridge deck that goes over Lake Union has two decks, one upper, one lower for traffic. And they are building a train. They've been building a train for 10 years now, but it's kind of an afterthought. It's a way for Sound Transit employees and officials to make billions of dollars off the taxpayers for a train. You know, primitive transportation that was more relevant in the 1800s than it should be today. Somehow they think people are going to get out of their cars and pay to ride the train wherever they need to go. They could be right. I'm not too sure. I think a train's great for people who can't get their license or have a disability that disables them from being able to drive, even though there are services for that kind of thing too. But I don't think that there's going to be very many people who get out of their car and jump on a train because traffic is heavy. If that were the case, we'd see more people carpooling, because that was the whole idea of the HOV lane, correct? We put in an HOV lane where there has to be 2, 3, 4 people in a car. Otherwise, you're restricted from driving in it. And you really don't see that many solo drivers hopping out of their car to ride with other people just so they can take that lane. So I'm not sure how many people are going to get on the train. I think Seattle and Washington missed an opportunity after the 62 World's Fair, because they could have just continued on with the monorail that goes from Westlake Center, downtown Seattle, up to the Seattle Center, where the Space Needle is. That monorail, in my opinion, should be running all over the Northwest by now. It'll be up above traffic. It could be down the center of the freeway, next to the freeway. It could go through residential areas. And it would be efficient had they spent the money back then. Would have cost much less than now. We are changing the landscape of the area. They have cut down hundreds of thousands of trees to terraform the land just to be able to place dual tracks down side by side for trains. It just kind of confuses me. If you go down to Portland, Oregon, it's like they built their public transportation system long before they built the rest of the city on top of it. And they got a river running through their city. It's got a nickname of Bridge City for a reason. There's tons of bridges. It takes you all over the place. Not to mention their hop on, hop off. It's like a subway tram. It's kind of a train, but it was already in place before most of the city went up. So it's efficient and it's paid for. Up here in Washington, they just decided it's the 2010s and soon to be in the 2020s, and let's build a train. Let's relocate people out of their homes. Let's relocate businesses from where they've been doing business for decades. Let's destroy the landscape. And then let's charge the taxpayers ridiculous amounts of money to pay for it. So, I'm done with that rant. If you don't know, now you know. If you did know, you're probably tired of hearing it. But anyhow, this, for anybody in LA, shout out to the GIV. This is what you're used to dealing with. I know it because we deal with it here. I personally try to not drive through Seattle, but on days like today, it's necessary. So became a courier in 2008, I was still using a Thomas Guide map to get around to places. And then I bought my very first Garmin GPS unit, and that thing paid for itself probably the first weekend I had it. That was a game changer. And now everybody's got GPS, either in their vehicle or on their phone or both. So I used to have a lot of back road shortcuts that I could take, and I could get around fairly efficiently during peak traffic times. But now, since GPS, everybody knows, well, they don't know, but the GPS takes them all those little back road shortcuts. So it's not even worth getting off the highway anymore, because every place that would save me time actually takes longer now. Actually, cannot seem to convince Polly that it's quicker just to stay on the freeway. She doesn't like to sit in traffic, so if the traffic on the freeway stops, she takes the exit, she hits the back roads. Convincing her that that's actually taking her longer, I can't seem to do it. And she's right. Sometimes you'll get lucky and and you'll either get to your destination at the same time or maybe a few minutes earlier than you would have. But was it really worth all the stopping at traffic lights and waiting at red lights and things like that? To me, it wasn't. I mean, you might as well just find the lane of least resistance and plug along. Starting to see the city from here. This could be another long video. When I shut the camera off last time, I still had 48 minutes to my destination. I am not sure what that ETA is now. Saw a bunch of classic cars heading northbound a few minutes ago. A bunch of old Ford Model Ts and modified pickups and things like that. That was pretty cool. Must be some car show or something going on, or maybe they're just cruising for a fundraiser. That's one thing, if you got something nice up here in Washington, you better be okay with it getting wet. I've heard stories about people, they won't bring their car out of the garage if it's raining. But up here, you might not have that option. And then I've met people that do anything in the rain. You gotta get used to it. So if you don't do it in the rain, you most likely wouldn't do it. So we got people who play sports in the rain, people who run in the rain, people who bike in the rain, go boating, fishing, whatever you would do because it was nice outside, they just do it in the rain anyway. It's okay, Canada. The lane does go through. People are waiting to get on the bridge. That's why this lane's just backing up. And there she blows, the Emerald City. I'm what you call a unicorn around here. I'm that mythical person who's lived here my whole life. I'm a true local Seattleite. I used to be proud of that fact. Now Seattle's just a big disappointment. So this is what traffic's going to be like for the next half an hour. I wanted to show on video the convention center I was talking about. I'm going to leave it playing. If anybody's still watching, thanks for sticking around. Like the video, subscribe to the video, or subscribe to the channel. Share it with somebody. A lot of buddies. We do appreciate it. Camera was mounted just a little more straight, you can see the Space Needle over to the right. University of Washington over to the left. First Hill straight ahead, followed by Capitol Hill. Stick around if you want to see the architectural marvel that I was explaining in the previous video, where the convention Convention Center sits right above the freeway. Still drizzly. Actually, days like this get kind of uncomfortable when the sun, say, 61 degrees right now. I mean, if it warms up another 5 to 8 degrees, it's going to be really muggy out. We're pretty moderate and temperate around the Northwest most of the year, but we can get pretty humid on days like this. So our humidity levels are usually fairly high to begin with, probably around 50% or more. Nothing like, Georgia, the Carolinas, Florida. That's extreme humidity. But when you're used to 45 to 55 degree weather, and it jumps up to 80s and 90s around here, it's hot for the Northwest. Experience Music Project. There's a really cool fountain there. Climate Pledge Arena. It used to be Key Arena when I was growing up. Then Jeff Bezos bought it or something, or bought the rights to name it. In my opinion, it's one of the stupidest names on the planet. Climate Pledge Arena. Couldn't be the Amazon Arena. Climate pledge. That's like a verb, right? That's something you take a pledge to help the climate. I don't think you should name an arena after it. But bring back the Sonics. Here. Hello, come on over. I am smart. Yep, see? I'll just ride both lanes for a while, why not? That's one thing about bad traffic. Going to end up with people making decisions. You go ahead and put your own prefix on that. Might be dumb decisions, might be rash decisions, might be split-second decisions. Usually is a split-second decision. Might be decisions out of anger. Who knows? It's a decision, that's for sure. It's not always a good one. Oh, look at this. He's going to crash into that car now. Alright. We are almost... Well, I said that before, but we're coming up on it. If you've ever been to Emerald City Comic Con, you've actually been to the Washington State Convention Center. But I don't know if you've seen what it's like underneath. Well, there it is. Oh, now it's called the Seattle Convention Center Arch. I don't know when they changed the name. There it is, right above us. And we have one carpool lane, 3 regular lanes and 2 exit lanes that we've bottlenecked down to. Now we're down to 2 lanes and an exit lane and a carpool lane. And forever, no matter how many people are driving in Seattle, it has to remain this way unless they tear down that convention center and go up. There's nowhere to go sideways. Like I said, I don't think we can go down from here. And now it's gotten worse. But I'll quit boring you. Congratulations if you've watched this long. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next video.